So have you guys heard about the baseball study? It was a really famous study that was done in 1988. It is cited by so many different folks to talk about background knowledge and comprehension, but I'm not going to talk about it the way that you probably think I will. So in this study, if you're not familiar, the researchers took students and they broke them up into 4 groups. They did high and low students who knew a lot about baseball and high and low students who knew nothing about baseball. Now, the findings of this study, after they did the reading and the comprehension and all of that, there really was no difference between the high students who knew a lot about baseball and the low students who also knew a lot about baseball. So a lot of folks have drawn from this the importance of background knowledge, which is fair, but the misnomer here is actually putting background knowledge above strategies. So if you saw my video talking about Nantucket, which I am so tired of talking about Nantucket at this point, but if you saw that video, you might think that my position on this baseball study is that background knowledge is one of the most important things. Yes and no. I do believe background knowledge is super important. The point I was trying to make on the video was when it comes to assessments and your background knowledge is the end of the road there, because an assessment is not testing your ability to learn something. The assessment is testing what you already know. Now, when it comes to the classroom, you don't have to only read texts that have to do with what you know. It's good to use background knowledge to engage students, which is what you can see from this baseball study, the fact that the low readers and the high readers who knew about baseball performed about the same. Background knowledge is a way to get in there, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be reading other text and getting exposed to other concepts and ideas. Unfortunately, this misalignment happens all the time in the field of education, because folks will see something that's a really cool hot button study, they'll pull something out of it, they won't really go into depth about it. There's a really fantastic article written by Dr. Timothy Shanahan that talks about this study specifically. I can provide a link if you guys want that. He points out some really important pieces. First of all, this is in 1988, so it was a long time ago. The study hasn't been replicated. It was with one reading passage, and the researchers themselves did not draw the conclusions a lot of folks are drawing. So it's really important to pay attention to those things and to think about the nuance in between. Background knowledge is so important, but it doesn't mean that you should only be exposed to things that have to do with your worldview. But it's the assessments that I sometimes have a problem with.